Hi, hello, good evening. It is the 6th of January 2026. And if anyone wants to know what is important about today, there is a number of ceremonies and religious ceremonies related to the 6th of January, one of them being Epiphany and my son's birthday. So there is a bit of personal information that I've given out there on social media. Sorry, yet again, I'm not trying to zoom in on my boobs, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm a little bit more clearer on the screen. I always come across as being really grainy because of the quality of my laptop that I use. So I can only apologize for that. Yes, this is me. No filters, no AI generated videos, nothing. This is who I am and what I practically look like 365 days of the year, 7 days a week. So if you were hoping to see another video from me about what it is like to be served a Section 21 or becoming homeless, I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm having a bit of a break, bit of a downtime from talking about the property that I'm still in, but have now been served a Section 21 twice. And I thought, you know what? I need to talk about something else. I need to talk about something that is important to myself and to other people. And one of the conversations that I had this evening with somebody was they had spoken to an ex-work colleague of mine, and they are a photographer. When I say photographer, I mean properly qualified. They went to college, they went to university, they have an HND in photography. I don't know what they actually covered on their course, but I know they have a HND in photography, and I'm not sure what that syllabus would have entailed. It probably would have entailed things like Photoshop, portraiture photography, landscaping photography, how to use a darkroom, things like that. And there probably would have been a lot of business orientated information on the training course as well. So once you had your qualification, what are you going to do with it? I've always been one of these people. When I was younger, I was very innocent, I was very naive, and I don't class that as a bad thing, but I did a lot of voluntary work in my teens, in my 20s and early 30s. Now that I'm almost 45, I don't do voluntary work anymore. One, because I don't have the time, and two, because I'm homeschooling my son, and three, because I keep thinking to myself, why should people have to work for free? It's nice, it's great, it's very admirable when people can take time out and do voluntary work. But at the same time, I think, people should get paid to do that work, and they shouldn't always be expected to do something for nothing. If you are going to be a volunteer, fine. But what are the incentives? What are you going to get out of it at the end of the day? I mean, a lot of the voluntary work I did was to help me pass my college courses, or to give me that bit of a step in to the line of employment or career that I wanted to do when I was younger. But then I got to about 35 and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not earning 40k a year like I've been promised. I haven't been able to do the training courses which would enable me to earn 40k a year because of my dyslexia and my dyscalculia, which enabled me basically to I wouldn't say that I didn't know the stuff academically, but I wasn't able to take the exams or, do what was necessary to get the qualifications I needed. It was always my English and my maths that let me down, which gets me on to the art and media industry. Hi, hello. So talking about the art and media industry, it's quite a very broad industry. and there'll be things in it that people might not want to include within those certain sectors. It's like I've always said, when people say, what employment or skills do you have? I will say I've worked in the art and media industry, I've worked in hospitality and catering, I've worked in retail. And they are the 3 key areas that I have worked in. And then obviously animal care and animal welfare. So there's 4. But again, when you say you've worked in retail, it can be quite a broad spectrum. It could be something as simple as working at your local shop as a cashier, or it could be working for a multi-million pound company or dollar-pound company like Marks and Spencer's, for example, and you are in HR, but you're still working in the retail sector. So it's the same with the art and media industry. There is just so much to cover that there's no way that I'm going to do that in a 5-minute video. And I've already been talking for 6. So one of the things that was mentioned, and it's been mentioned a lot recently, is how much the art and media industry has changed purely because of AI, meaning artificial intelligence. And this has been something that is kind of been buzzing around for years. I'm not talking, all of a sudden someone has invented this new AI program and everybody's jumped on the bandwagon and it has ripped the heart out of the art and media industry. AI, computer generated images, Photoshop, editing photos, that has been around for donkey's years. That has been around since the first camera was invented. And people might think, well, no, that isn't true. There's no way that in the 1800s, I'd have to double check when the first camera was actually invented. But I'm going back to I'm thinking of people like Bonnie and Clyde, for example, in America, who had photos of themselves photoshopped in order to show and perceive Bonnie and Clyde as being worse, sort of heinous criminals than what they were. So one of the famous photos of Bonnie that has actually been doctored is there was a photograph of her taken. Now, I don't know who took the photo. I'd have to research it. And in the original photo, she has actually holding a rose in between her teeth. And what the media did, the local paper, I can't even remember which paper it was, they edited that image of her holding a rose in between her teeth. And they